he always wants me to shake hands at the beginning. Yeah. So here we are, I think episode 24. Which camera are we looking at, cameraman? Both. All right, both. Episode 24, here with Brandon Elliott, better known as Mullet Review, I guess, or that's what he goes by on social media. Thanks for meeting me for one.
Oh yeah, no problem, man.
I like the shirt. I don't even know if I know exactly what it means.
It's a measurement of distance in Ohio.
All right.
That's how I figure out where I'm going, is how many Dollar Generals away it is.
Perfect. All right, so, and that's why I really wanted to sit down and talk to you, or stand up and talk to you, I guess, today. We don't have an office today. We're gonna do a little food review maybe later, but I wanted to meet you because I saw you on social media, and you do similar to things to me in a totally different way. I like shouting out small restaurants and businesses, and you're doing that. You got better hair, and a little bit more funnier than I am, I think. So I wanted to sit down and kind of talk to you more about that. What got you into doing the food reviews?
Oh man, I went to a restaurant called We Do Barbecue, and what was cool about it was he actually let me eat literally everything I bought before I bought it, because he didn't want me to take it back or get a refund, which is cool.
Yeah,
I appreciate it, but yeah, and then I just posted a picture online, not with me giving a thumbs up or anything.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was just kind of went big, and I was like, maybe I can do this, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you can now, and you've only been at it for 2 months. How many followers you got?
15,000 this morning. I woke up to.
Nobody's checking, but yeah, 15.
Yeah.
It is fun when you get a good video to blow up. I never would have thought I was doing social media like I am, or doing videos like this, but I just saw that people kind of like it. It's a new way to communicate with people, and I realized pretty quickly no one wants to hear me talking about law stuff all the time in my suit with books behind me. So I started, trying to shout out other small businesses, and people really appreciate it. It's what I like about it. When you do a video for somebody, for the business, I mean, how happy are they when you come and give them a shout out on social media?
Oh, they don't know who I am.
Not yet.
I don't tell them who I am. I don't walk in the door and kick it open like, do you know who I am? Do you know who I am?
But when they see it after, do you get comments from them?
I mean, sometimes there's a couple places where they go kind of like, the videos go bigger.
Yeah.
But there's not a lot of the time. So a lot of them are thankful, I think, I don't always make videos for everybody because it's just timely.
Yeah.
It's a lot of time consuming stuff I got to do. And, I got a full-time job. I'm not just, doing this I'm doing it every day, but it's almost like I'm working 2 jobs, really.
Yeah, and I'm glad you bring that up because, I got a full-time job too. I think it's more than a full-time job sometimes. And doing these videos, it's extra work. We're here on Sunday. It's 10:30. A lot of people are sleeping in. Doing social media, it's an extra commitment, especially when you're traveling around a lot of different places. What's the furthest you've went in Ohio so far?
Hillsboro.
What'd you do out there?
I went to a cheesecake place called Mimi's Kitchen.
I saw that one.
Then I kind of found out they sell it like all over Ohio, so I didn't have to go out to Hillsboro.
Well, not a complete waste of time. They gave you got to have a lot of different types of cheesecake. I saw.
Oh man,
you liked them all.
You can get it all there. You only get some as whatever they got at the gas station. You know what I mean?
Shout out to Mimi's Kitchen.
Yeah, Mimi's Kitchen.
I saw you gave them all 10 out of 10 on that one. You
can't go wrong. You can't go wrong. It's like if I'm rating ice cream, I never had a bad ice cream. Are y'all just gonna watch me give everything a 10? I realized as soon as I made that video, I was like, I ain't never looked at a bad cheesecake, man. I mean, what are you gonna do? Put shells in it? I mean, you can't mess it up.
I'm a pretty big fan too of the cheesecake. Why'd you want to do the food stuff? Is it just because you like eating, you like trying new things, or is that,
No, I actually have, I do like to eat. I have a hyperfixation for things. So before all this, before anybody even seen anything, I was actually a gym nut.
Okay.
I've kind of gained a little, not from eating or anything, but I've just kind of gained it back from where I was going. I was about, I went from 220 to 230 pounds to 160, and then I got really buff. So that was pretty cool. And then I just kind of stopped it because once I start learning something, and then it becomes interesting, you can't stop me. So like I treated this, I went to the gym every single day, and I improved my bench from being barely able to lift 100 to now pushing 230. But then you kind of learn everything you do, and then it becomes a repetitive process. You can do like lift things 100 different ways, but you know, it's still doing the same motion every day. Here, it's kind of like keeps me interested, like the food does. I mean, it's not like every day you get to go to like, I don't know, find a hamburger made with 2 grilled cheeses. Like, that's ridiculous.
Where was that?
That was at Little River Bar and Grill.
All right. Pretty good.
Called the Donk.
It is fun finding new. When I'm driving around, if I'm going to court or to meet someone, I see something on the side of the road I never noticed, a little mom and pop shop. I put a mental note if I don't have time, and it is fun to stop at new places you've never been to.
Yeah, and you know, the thing a lot of people ask with me giving good reviews, it's like, because I'm going to places people are telling me to go to. It's not, if you hate it, they're not going to tell me to go to it. And I think it'd be funny if somebody told me to go to a place they hated, but no one's, not a group of people will tell me to go somewhere, and then I just take that and I'm like, all right, let's go.
Probably good.
Of course I'm not gonna hate it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's silly. I go to some places, you know, I'll go to some places on my own, and then I'll be like, well, this is why this wasn't recommended, you know. I'll just show up, you know, some places, but you know, a lot of people ask me to go there, they're confident. That's where we're at.
Yeah,
know?
If people are there, it's probably good. I started doing TikToks 2020, and a few of mine blew up, and I'd get a lot of people telling me to go to wherever place, and 50 people tell you to go there. It's usually decent.
good.
It's not going to be bad.
Yeah.
And I'm not too picky. It helps too. You know, I like the food myself, and I used to go to the gym a lot too, and I quit as well. So you know, probably should start back before too long. It gets boring.
I didn't necessarily quit. I just don't have enough time. And I know that sounds crazy because, like, I know a lot of the gym bros are in there like, you always got time. But, you know, I do get my step count in. I hit about 30,000 steps a day. And
that's a lot.
And that's why I'm not huge. All you got to do is walk.
Walking's good. If you're getting 30,000 steps in.
Yeah, but you also got to manage it too. Like off camera, y'all don't see me eat healthy.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, people think the same. A lot of people think that if I post a video about food, I do that 3 meals a day, which I don't. I mean, my wife cooks pretty healthy at home, and I try to eat good most of the time. But you got to have fun every now and then.
My lunch is completely boring. There is nothing interesting about it. I let everybody rate it. It was darn near a 2 out of 10.
What is it on a
basic
basic
is literally Extreme Wellness tortillas, and then 3 pieces of ham, 2 of those, and then a protein bar. That's it.
Save the calories for the cheesecake or the fried cheese hamburger.
It's all about management.
Yeah.
I just want to put that on record.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as somebody can see that out there and quit asking me why I'm not fat.
It's probably a good note, kids. All in moderation. Everything you see is not true all the time. Let's talk about the hair. I mean, your mullet review is how long did it take to grow the mullet?
This actually happened because it was a Facebook there. Funny enough, back in 2020, I didn't have a mullet, and then I said, you know, I posted on Facebook back, you know, when COVID was happening. I was still working, and I said, you know what, you know, let's get so many likes, I'll go get a mullet. And then, lo and behold, I kept it. It was supposed to be a joke. It's not a joke anymore.
it's real life.
I actually look great with a mullet, so I kept it.
Nice. And I was gonna say, I got to shout out my Uncle Mike Builder. He had a mullet back in the 80s when it was cool, and then he kept it all the way through the 90s and all the way through the 2000s when it wasn't cool at all, and we always told him about it, and he kept rocking it no matter what, and he kept saying it'd come back, and it did, so now he thinks he's cool again, I'm sure. But shout out to Uncle Mike. He had dedication to the hairstyle for sure.
He was holding it down. He was holding it down till he was cool again. Yeah. He's standing on top laughing at all y'all.
Yeah,
I knew there was oil in them mines.
Yeah, it took about 30 years, but it came back. So you've been doing this about 2 months. You blew up pretty fast. I mean, what do you think the future holds for social media and what you're going to be doing? or have you not thought that too far ahead?
I think I'm gonna still be eating, man.
Walking and eating.
Yeah, walking and eating. I mean, I really don't see me doing nothing much. Maybe spin a sign or two. I don't know.
What's that even? Spin a sign?
Oh, you know, go out front, spin a sign in like a monkey
nice.
suit or something. I don't know.
Have you had restaurants reaching out to you to ask you to come yet?
Oh yeah, I've had a couple of them. Some of them are really far, and it's just like, you know, I don't mean to make it like I'm not avoiding anybody, but like a couple things that's been happening is I'll get 40 messages a day now, and I can't keep up with it. It's like, you know, you're going through something and you're like, okay, you hit the end. Here, it just keeps scrolling. And I'm just like getting lost in words half the time. Or they're just too far away for a normal drive. I try to keep it within 30 minutes of my work day.
Yeah.
You know, but like, you know, I got to plan special trips for certain places. You know, 2 hours away isn't a day trip. That's 4 hours of me going to and from. Which, you know, that's an entire
That's a weekend.
day. Yeah.
Yeah, and you still got the full-time job. I try to squeeze it in my daily life if I can, kind of, but it is hard. You can't. And some months I don't do as many as I should, and I try to fill them with other stuff. But it's work. I mean, and it's commitment. You kind of have to do something every day with it, whether you're thinking about where you're going to go next or editing. How do you edit videos? You do all that on your own?
Oh, I do it all. I try to do it like, you know, whenever I can. Some take longer, some don't. It just depends. It really depends on how much food I get. It really does.
I've seen one where you had a whole like table full of food. I mean, like you had everything they had to offer.
Yeah, sometimes, you know, sometimes I have to plan these things with like a food truck or, you know, maybe they got weird hours, but you know, sometimes they'll invite me and I'll have to like, hey, I can be there, but I gotta do this. And then they'll find out I'm there. Like, oh, I know who he is. So then, you know, what ends up happening is like, oh, but sometimes the food is free because I'm there.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's scheduled. And sometimes I do have to schedule things. Most of the time, I just walk in. But it really, I mean, if they got goofy hours, it's really not their fault. Sometimes they're just trying to make ends meet or something doesn't go as planned.
Yeah.
I mean, I got a place up here I go to, like, you know, that I live near. And I try to get there every weekend, but you know, I don't think he does it full time, but he does a good job.
Where's that, so viewers can know about it?
Nick's Barbecue, Citrus Tree, Farmer's Market.
All right.
He does really good barbecue, but you know, he's like one of the first food trucks to let me, you know, go in there and stuff. But the very first one that took me seriously, I mean, like dead seriously. Yeah. I wasn't even nobody. Was Little Trolley Donuts. They let me walk in, darn near let me drive the thing. And I mean, absolutely great donuts.
It's good to remember the people that kind of helped you out when you were getting started on it and took you serious.
Oh yeah, I mean, when you're starting, no one like cares.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, shoot, it's like, who's this guy? Who cares? You know, but
you're right too. It's scary. I mean, not necessarily scary, but when you first do your first few videos, I remember I'm just like yelling into the universe and no one does care, and it feels like they don't for a long time. Sometimes maybe forever. But I mean, you kind of blow up quick. But it takes a little bit of courage to do videos. I mean, it really does. Talking to a camera's not easy.
No, it's I think what's cool about it is, you know, if you put your mind to something, you take it serious, people start taking you serious. It's really just kind of like the groundwork, right? It's like, you know, here I am, I'm doing it, I continue to do it, and then people start to notice. I think a lot of it though, there's no success in saying, follow me, please. There's no, you can't tell people, you gotta let them find out. And I think that's probably the best thought. You know, I didn't go around and tell everybody I do food reviews. I let them find out.
No, but I think what you said right there is very applicable to any venture, like whether you're the gym or I'm at court. Give people the facts, you do what you're doing, and if you're doing it right, people will notice. You don't have to tell them, notice me, because if you're asking people for it, it's too transactional, it puts people on defensive, you know, so, and just staying steady, taking it seriously. Any kid out there, anyone wanting some, like, you know, some, I guess, what's the word, Tony Robbins, you know, for the day, that's it. I mean,
Well, one thing I've noticed is like, so with the gym, a big thing is you're not going to see results, and you're not going to get immediate results. You keep doing it, they're going to show up eventually. People are going to notice, but at the same time, just keep doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the biggest thing. When people tell you keep doing something, it's okay. I mean, and once you dig the hole, if you're doing it one shovel at a time, you're gonna hit the bottom eventually.
And it's funny you brought up the gym earlier. We didn't obviously choreograph this. Other attorneys or people that are in business have asked me about social media. I've drawn that same conclusion, like or analogies. Like it's like going to if you're doing videos on social media, it's like going to the gym. You're not going to see, an uptick in business next week. Probably not next month. It might take a year, but eventually it does build and it kind of compounds. You get better at it. People see the old videos. It kind of has a cumulative effect, and you get more comfortable with it. And it becomes easier. At least for me, the first few months doing videos, it was really hard, mostly because you're like self-conscious about it. But now I can pull out a phone and do a video pretty quick, and it's not perfect, and I don't care. When I think I used to try to be perfect, I don't know if it's coming easier to you with time.
Oh, I never cared.
You never cared.
I got a mullet, man. As soon as the haircut comes out, they know I don't care if they watch or not.
And that's perfect, I think.
I think them just clapping and say good job is enough for me.
Well, there you go. I think not caring what other people think is another, great piece of wisdom.
Oh yeah.
You got anything else you want to add? We're actually outside here in Fairfield by Lisa's Kitchen. We got some sandwiches ordered. We're going to snag those, but while we're waiting on them to get made, we figured bang out the video. You got anything you want to add or where people can find you?
Oh yeah, you can find me at Mullet Review, everything except for on YouTube. Mullet Review 69. Somebody took Mullet Review for some reason. And remember, 2 5-hour energies. That's 10 hours of energy in one 5-hour period, and that's the secret.
This is not backed up by medical anything. Disclaimer. All right, man. I appreciate it. Let's get these sandwiches.
I do want to get it.
That was perfect, man.